The Carolina Reaper currently holds the Guinness World Record for the hottest pepper in the world, measuring in at 2.2 million Scoville units. To put that in perspective, a jalapeno measures in at 2,500 to 2,800 Scoville units. 2.2 million, 25 to 2,800. That means a Carolina Reaper is about 400 times hotter than a jalapeno. The pepper spray used by law enforcement? That measures in at about 2 million Scoville units. Yeah, the Carolina Reaper is hotter than that. And we can grow it from seed, right here in Zone 4. Hi, I'm Carol from Almost 2 Acres. Let's grow peppers.
Today I'm covering why peppers get hot in the first place, what the Scoville scale actually measures, and most importantly, exactly how to grow them successfully in Zone 4, where our short, sometimes cool summers make peppers the most challenging warm season crop in this entire series. The heat in peppers comes from a group of chemical compounds called capsaicinoids, the most abundant of which is, of course, capsaicin. Capsaicin is produced in the white pithy membrane inside the pepper, called the placenta, that holds the seeds. This is why removing the seeds and inner membrane reduces heat significantly. The seeds themselves are not actually spicy. They just absorb capsaicin from the membrane they're attached to. When capsaicin comes into contact with the mucous membranes in your mouth, throat, or eyes, it binds to a specific pain receptor called TRPV1, a receptor that normally responds to actual heat and physical damage. Capsaicin tricks that receptor into firing as if you were being burned. You are not being burned. There is no actual tissue damage happening. But your nervous system can't tell the difference, which is why eating a very hot pepper produces all the same psychological responses as a real burn. Watering eyes, running nose, increased heart rate, sweating, and the urgent desire to make it stop. Milk works better than water because capsaicin is fat soluble, not water soluble. Water spreads it around. The casein protein in milk actually binds to capsaicin and rinses it away. This is why dairy, milk, yogurt, sour cream is the traditional cooling agent across cultures that eat very hot food. Now here's the evolutionary part that's really interesting. Peppers developed capsaicin specifically to deter mammals from eating them. Mammals chew seeds and destroy them. Birds don't. They swallow fruit whole and pass seeds through their digestive systems intact, spreading them. And birds have no TRPV1 receptors. They cannot taste capsaicin at all. Hot peppers are completely mild to a bird. The plant essentially developed a chemical that says, birds yes, mammals no. Humans, being mammals with a peculiar relationship to self-inflicted discomfort, responded by breeding the hottest peppers they could possibly create. The Scoville scale was invented in 1912 by a pharmacist named Wilbur Scoville. His original method involved diluting pepper extract in sugar water and having human tasters determine when they could no longer detect heat. The amount of dilution required became the Scoville heat unit rating. Today, it's measured more precisely using high-performance liquid chromatography, but the scale still carries his name. Here's a practical tour from mildest to most extreme, with varieties you can actually grow in Zone 4. Bell peppers contain a recessive gene that completely blocks capsaicin production. Zero heat, no matter how hot the summer. They're sweet, crisp, and the most widely grown pepper in American home gardens. In Zone 4, they're also the most challenging because they need a long, warm season to fully color from green to red, yellow, or orange. A green bell is just an unripe pepper. The color change happens as it fully matures, and that takes time we don't always have. Here are the best varieties for Zone 4. Ace matures in about 70 days and is one of the most reliable bell peppers for short season climates. King of the North was bred specifically for northern gardens and produces large red bells in about 68 days. Lipstick is a pimento-style sweet pepper, smaller, thicker-walled, earlier, and is more practical for Zone 4 than a standard bell. Banana peppers and sweet banana have 100 to 500 Scoville units. Long, yellow, mildly tangy, excellent for pickling and fresh eating. Sweet banana matures in about 70 days and is a strong Zone 4 performer. Easy to grow, very productive, and the pickled version in a jar is a most satisfying thing you can put up from the garden. Pimento at 100 to 500 Scoville units is a sweet, thick-walled, and heart-shaped pepper. If you've ever eaten pimento cheese, this is the pepper. It matures early and handles Zone 4 summers well. Poblano is rated at 1,000 to 2,000 Scoville units. Dark green, earthy, and rich. Roasted poblanos are the foundation of a lot of Mexican cooking. They dry into ancho chilies. In Zone 4, they need every bit of the season, but are doable with an early start. They mature in about 70 to 80 days. Jalapeno at 2,500 to 8,000 Scoville units is the most recognized hot pepper in North America. Early jalapeno at about 65 to 70 days is a strong Zone 4 choice. They have thick walls, good heat, and incredible versatility. Fresh, pickled, smoked into chipotles, or stuffed. Jalapenos are one of the most productive peppers you can grow. Fresno, with 2,500 to 10,000 Scoville units, is similar to jalapeno, but fruity and slightly hotter. Fresno turns red when fully ripe. It tastes great fresh and makes excellent hot sauce. It is ready in about 75 days. Now we enter hot territory. Serrano, at 10,000 to 25,000 Scoville units, is smaller and noticeably hotter than a jalapeno, with a bright, sharp heat. Ripe in about 75 to 80 days, it is used extensively in fresh salsas and sauces. Cayenne, at 30,000 to 50,000 Scoville units, is long, thin, and fiery. It is excellent dried and ground into cayenne powder. Long, slim cayenne matures in about 70 to 75 days. This pepper is highly productive and easy to dry. Just string them up and hang them. Hungarian wax at 5,000 to 15,000 Scoville units has been a Zone 4 favorite for decades. Yellow when young, red when ripe, with a medium heat that builds. It ripens in about 70 days. It's very productive and handles cool nights better than most hot peppers. Habanero is very hot at 100,000 to 350,000 Scoville units. Here is where you cross into territory that demands real respect. Habaneros are fruity and floral on the nose and then become punishing. They need a long, warm season, about 100 days, which makes them a stretch in Zone 4. But with an early indoor start and season extension tricks, they are doable. Orange habanero is the classic. Peach habanero is beautiful and slightly milder. Now we enter extreme heat territory. Ghost pepper rates at 855,000 to 1 million plus Scoville units. In 2007, the ghost pepper became the first pepper officially certified over 1 million Scoville units. It held the world record until 2011. It is still one of the hottest peppers a home gardener can practically grow and use in cooking. Beyond this level, you're really just producing a novelty or a hot sauce ingredient that requires serious dilution. It takes about 100 to 120 days to ripen, so it's a real Zone 4 challenge. Start ghost peppers early and use season extension. Carolina Reaper rates at 1,400,000 to 2,200,000 Scoville units. This is the current world record holder. Bred in South Carolina by a grower named Ed Curlin, it is wrinkled red with a small scorpion-like tail. It's not a cooking ingredient in any normal sense. It's an experience. It requires a very long season, 90 to 120 days, and in Zone 4, you will need to start it in February and use wall of water or low tunnels to extend the season. It can be done. Whether it should be done is a question only you can answer. Here's a Zone 4 reality check. Which peppers are actually practical? Sweet peppers and early jalapenos are your most reliable crops. They'll produce well in a normal Zone 4 summer with proper planting timing and care. Medium hot peppers, serranos, cayenne, Hungarian wax, are very doable with attention to timing and a decent summer. They're not a gamble, they're just a commitment. Habaneros are possible, but require an early start, warm season, and some luck with the weather. In a cool Zone 4 summer, they may not fully mature or produce abundantly. Ghost peppers and Carolina Reapers in Zone 4 are a project. They require starting seeds in February, using season extension tools like wall of water early and late, and hoping for a warm summer. They are not for beginners and not for anyone who wants a reliable harvest. But if you want the challenge, the bragging rights, and the story, go for it. Peppers need more time indoors than any other crop in this series, 8 to 10 weeks before last frost. In Zone 4, that means starting seeds in late February to mid-March. For habaneros, ghost peppers, or Carolina Reapers, start even earlier, early to mid-February. Yes, February. These varieties need every single day of growing time they can get. Write down your start dates based on your last frost. Sweet peppers and jalapenos start 8 weeks before last frost. Hot peppers, serranos, and cayenne start 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost. Habaneros, ghost peppers, Carolina Reapers start these 10 to 12 weeks before your last frost. Pepper seeds are famously slow and sometimes frustrating to germinate. They need consistent warmth, 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit for best germination. A heat mat is not optional for peppers. It's the difference between seeds that germinate in 7 to 14 days and seeds that sit in damp soil for 3 weeks and do nothing. Set your heat mat to 85 degrees. Sow seeds about a 1/4 inch deep in a moist seed starting mix. Cover the tray with a humidity dome to hold in moisture and warmth. Check daily. Do not let the surface dry out. Germination for sweet peppers typically takes 7 to 14 days at proper temperature. Hot peppers can take 14 to 21 days. Super hots like ghost peppers and Carolina Reapers can take 3 to 4 weeks or longer to germinate. Do not give up on them at the 2-week mark. They are slow. They will come. Once seedlings emerge, remove the humidity dome and move them under grow lights. Keep the heat mat going for another week or two. Pepper seedlings like warm roots even after germination. Grow lights should be left on 14 to 16 hours a day, kept close to the top of the seedlings. Peppers that don't get enough light get leggy. Leggy pepper transplants are slow to recover and slow to produce. Move seedlings into larger containers as they grow. Unlike tomatoes, you can't bury the pepper stem to gain extra roots. Peppers don't produce stem roots the way tomatoes do. Pot them at the same depth they were growing. When your pepper seedling has 4 to 6 sets of true leaves, you can optionally pinch out the very top growing tip. This signals the plant to branch rather than grow straight up, producing a bushier plant with more flowering sites and ultimately more peppers. Peppers are the warmth lovers of this entire series. They want to be planted in soil with temperatures of 65 degrees or above, warmer than tomatoes. They want air temperatures that stay consistently above 60 degrees. Below 55 degrees, pepper plants essentially stop growing. Below 50, they can drop flowers without setting fruit. In Zone 4, this means late May is your earliest safe outdoor planting date and only if the weather cooperates. The following season extension tools may make a real difference for your peppers in Zone 4. Black plastic mulch. Lay black plastic over your pepper bed before planting. It absorbs solar heat and raises soil temperature significantly, often by 5 to 10 degrees compared to bare soil. This one simple step can make a measurable difference in pepper production in a cool Zone 4 summer. Wallow water. The same season extension tool mentioned for tomatoes works beautifully for peppers. Install them around your transplants at planting time and they'll protect plants and hold heat even on cool nights. Low tunnels. A hoop of wire covered with clear plastic or rope cover over your pepper bed for the first few weeks after planting keeps the air around the plants warmer and gets them established faster. Space peppers with 18 inches between plants. They like good air circulation. In case you didn't know this, every colored pepper starts green. A red bell pepper is a fully ripened green bell pepper. An orange habanero is a fully ripened green habanero. The color change happens as the pepper reaches complete maturity, and it can take 2 to 4 weeks after the pepper has reached its full size. In Zone 4, you can harvest peppers green. They're perfectly edible and often quite good green, or you can wait for full color and full sweetness, which takes more time. For sweet peppers, the difference in flavor between green and fully colored is significant. A red or orange bell is noticeably sweeter and more complex than the same pepper picked green. For hot peppers, full ripening also increases heat. A red jalapeno is hotter than a green one. A red habanero is more intense than an orange one picked earlier. The Zone 4 strategy: harvest some sweet peppers green throughout the season so the plant keeps producing, but let a few go to full color on the vine when you can afford to. For hot peppers, let as many as possible fully color. They'll be hotter, more flavorful, and easier to dry or process. When frost threatens in fall, harvest everything. Green peppers ripen indoors on a countertop, though more slowly than tomatoes. If you're growing anything above or at least jalapeno heat, wear gloves when harvesting and processing. Capsaicin transfers from your hand to your eyes, nose, and any other sensitive tissue with devastating effect. Wash your hands thoroughly with soap, not just water, after handling. The casein principle applies here too. Washing with a little milk before soap can help remove capsaicin from your skin. Whether you're growing sweet bells for stuffing in salads, jalapenos for salsa, or habaneros for a hot sauce you'll be handing out as gifts for the next 3 years, peppers in a Zone 4 garden are one of the most rewarding things you can grow. Just don't touch your face.
Next up in my Zone 4 gardening series, cucumber and zucchini, two of the easiest to grow crops we have once the soil warms up. They're productive, they're fast, and they're the crops guaranteed to scare your neighbors if they open their door to you mid-season. Subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment. Jalapenos for you, or are you slightly unhinged and it'll be Carolina Reapers? See you next time. Let's get growing.